Ship 38 and Booster 15 are stacked on the pad, and we're just barely a day away from Starship Flight 11. This is NSF's Countdown to Launch.
And here we go.
We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be nominal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Following up.
Water towers fly! Yes! Tango down to nominal.
Fighting downside FTE off. FTE off. It's orange! Orange 45! Oh my god! Oh my god! Deconstruction. Look at this! Put that in the big bag,
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
There's nothing to be exciting and clear, correct? Ship 36 just blew up. Thanks. You good? We don't need any more of these.
We're just a little bit of a day from Starship Flight 11, and this is Countdown to Launch, of course. You can see here that countdown already running 26 hours away from Starship Flight 11. I'm Alejandro Alcantarilla Romera. You already know my name. It's a long name. I'm from Spain, so it's of course long, I guess. But yeah, I mean, we are here on Countdown to Launch. It's going to be a special one because it's going to be hosted by Lemois, I guess, on this one. And one of the things is that we are going to be talking here a bit about what's going to happen tomorrow. But we're also going to have some interesting things that we're going to be unveiling on this broadcast. Because yesterday we had a full stack. We revealed the patch and all that. But there are more secrets, I guess, that we should probably talk about today. And we're going to do that as well. But it's not just going to be me, as always. I'm going to be accompanied here by Ryan Weber, which is going to be talking also about Starship with me. Because, I mean, if there's anyone else at NSF that knows about Starship and all that, right, it's you as well. So welcome to the show as you know, we get ready for that launch.
I know things? Wait, okay.
I guess, yes. It's also, so guys, this is also my first time hosting a live stream that is not Europe's Future in Space, so there's like a lot more audience out there. But I still need to do the usual things, you know, housekeeping or whatever Jack says. If you have any questions, tag at NASASpaceflight in chat or at NSF as well. And we have our panel here. This is my first time actually dealing with a panel with a lot of people. So you have the chance of literally blowing my mind here, trying to use it. But also in the background, we have Kevin Michael Reed operating the stream. We're sort of also using this as a rehearsal as well. So hopefully everything works well today. Thank you, Kevin. And of course, Jay Keegan is also going to be around as well, trying to help pulling some of those levers. Because when we deploy all of the things for a Starship flight, there's a lot more levers to pull, a lot more buttons to push. So we need more people, right? So we have now 2 producers as well for this one. But Ryan, the important thing is, you know, what I have behind me and what we are showing live right now. Yesterday we had that full stack. What happened since the last time we did one of these Countdown to Launches, I guess? Because we had one on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, and then we had the Flame Trench on Friday. So let's run through a little bit of that.
Yes, so, I mean, boosters on the pad, ships on the pad, they're both stacked. SpaceX has already hooked up the ship quick disconnect. They have already swept the pad. In fact, they've already cleared the pad for that matter. There's already tape there's tape that's put around the water deluge plate that's so no one goes over it and they keep it clean. They're ready to go. I mean, basically, barring some, you know, checks here and there and other stuff like that, they're ready to begin their countdown in 14 hours, give or take. They usually do about a 12-hour count. They like to take their time to go through things. It'll get shorter later down the line, but usually it's around 12 hours that they like to start stuff. I think they've already done some igniter tests on Booster 15. They'll do some igniter tests on Ship 38 to make sure everything's working well. I wouldn't be surprised to see some flap and grid fin testing over the next couple over the course of the night and even in tomorrow morning. Just checking, make sure all the systems are good. And, if they do find an issue, they can destack and fix it. And usually they can do it pretty quickly. But at this point in time, considering it's all cleared out, I would say we are pretty well on target for going in 25 hours and 57 and a half minutes or so.
Yeah, we're just now we have actually crossed that T-minus 26-hour mark. And, I'm really excited about this flight because even though it's bittersweet, right? Because it's the last flight from Pad 1 here at Starbase, that means it opens the door to Pad 2 and Block 3 flights and things like that. So I'm really looking forward, to sort of turning the page and getting to the next chapter of this really long book, I guess, that SpaceX is writing here with the Starship program. So is there anything else that they need to prepare here from where we are right now until launch? What sort of things we might see in the next less than 26 hours, I guess?
Well, over the course of the rest of today, they'll go ahead and finish. They'll keep working on Pad 2 for a while. In fact, they just installed the primary supply hoses for both the BQDs today, or one last night, one now, just a couple hours ago. But basically, they'll keep working on that probably until the night shift. Night shift will probably come in still. They'll do some work and whatnot. And night shift's job will be to clean up the pad. Basically, take all the JLGs out, take all the scissor lifts out, pack everything away. Anything that's loose that's around, you kind of pack it away or take it to the production site or Sanchez, kind of just move it all out of the way. Make sure when those engines fire, the 33 engines fire at max power, even with the deluge, they don't throw stuff around, because we've seen even with a booster static fire, it can throw a shipping container around. So they want to make sure everything's buttoned down or moved out of the way. And then they'll do their final checkouts over the course of the night. They'll eventually close the road at noon tomorrow. And then, of course, closing the road, closing the beach, getting into propellant farm conditioning, eventually into prop load, and then launch. It's a sequence of events they've rehearsed for a while now. And they're pretty used to it on this pad. I can't wait to see what happens with the new one. Because the one thing I'll say is, I wonder if this is this going to be the last time we see them close the road this early? Will they close it later? Or stuff like that. I'm really curious to see what happens after this flight, because a lot, like, their countdown's going to change a lot. So I'm really curious to see.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of new things coming soon after this flight, so I'm really looking forward to a lot of the things. And there was somebody in chat here. I'm grabbing some of your questions, talking about the amount of changes. We just got an update from SpaceX. I'm looking at it right now. I'm gonna give the production team time to pull that up. But we have a question from Megazilla talking like, they are a huge Starship fan, but kind of forgot about the changes to Block 3 Starship, not the booster, but the ship. Is there any major change to version 3 of the ship compared to what we're seeing right now with version 2?
Well, the biggest change, we know they changed where the catch pins are. They're now up on the nose cone itself. We know that little bit. The pins and the tiles have changed. It looks like some of the internal welds inside the nose cone has changed. We haven't seen any major tank sections. We have seen what we think is a pathfinder for an aft section, where it looks like they're moving the aft dome down and slightly redesigning it so that they can have more propellant, which would then move the RVAC slightly into the tank. So there's definitely changes in and around. There's a chance we'll get to see them soon, because the PEZ for the 39 moved into the mega bay. So we might get to see what differences on the payload bay are in a couple of days. Hopefully after Flight 11, when not everyone's focused on the full stack and we can focus on the production site.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a lot of changes, and they still have to test them too.
Yeah, and we now have that post by SpaceX here saying that they're counting down to Starship's 11th flight test. The launch window opens on Monday at 6:15 p.m. Central, and weather is currently 80% favorable for the launch. So that's great news because it means the weather is almost as good as it can get, right? Because 80%, that's really great chances there. I mean, we've seen some launches being scrubbed at 90% favorable conditions, but still, you know, it has very, very good odds to be able to fly. I wish we had, just like we have for Florida launches, where the Space Force releases this sort of document with some of the concerns that they have and things like that. Like, what kind of thing, like, what is that 20%, right? That is not letting them having a full-on 100% chance, right? Sometimes it's like, oh well, there's gonna be like this system, there's like some puffy clouds that are gonna be coming in, and it could be anvil clouds or whatever, right? Like sometimes it's just something when it's only, you know, when it's only 20% out from 100, it's like some minor thing going on, some clouds, some upper level wind stuff or something like that. It's very tiny usually. But yeah, so I mean, we are ready to go here, I guess. We're just getting ready for that launch. There is, though, one thing that we probably need to go through, which is what is going to happen tomorrow, because we've got all of those preparations already ongoing. We have the full stack, and we've got, of course, what Ryan was talking about, all of the sweeps, all of the cleaning and everything. But what? Hey, we have some footage here from yesterday, I guess. We can run through that as well. But yeah, we saw those engines. Those are going to be the last engines of the Raptor 2 family that are going to be firing in flight. Because, and that's going to be the last part of this flight. Like, it's going to be the landing of that ship out on the Indian Ocean. And
We hope so.
yeah. So let's run quickly a bit. So the ascent of the booster is probably, it's just going to be the same, right? The only thing that's going to change is the return of the booster. During the booster's return, they're going to be starting with 13 engines, and instead of going straight to 3 engines, they're going to be going sort of in between of that. They're going to be going to 5 engines. And when they do that, it's going to be on that phase of the landing where, you know, the booster has already removed a lot of its speed, but it's still moving down, right? It's still descending, but it's now translating over to the launch tower and being able to do all of that. Oh, we're running through the entire thing. Okay, so here we got prepared already. A bunch of these clips. We're training for tomorrow. Spoiler alert. So we're gonna have obviously the liftoff. Pad 1 will get roasted one final time. And by the way, this is the view of the patch. Flight 11 already in the store. A bit of a plug there. But yeah, and so unfortunately, it's gonna be the last time we may see something like this. And the final roasting of Pad 1.
I think that kind of shot out of the next pad is going to be, it's going to be amazing.
Do you think it'll
we'll
be
wait
possible?
and see till we see it, but I think it'll be even more amazing than that one. But that's just me.
Do you think it'll be possible? Because it looks too constrained, and with all of the water coming, I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
I think it'll be entirely possible to do. I don't think there will be any issue because any of the water that's on the top deck's going to immediately get turned into steam. And the amount of thrust that's in there is going to just vaporize everything. You should still be able to see the engines just clearly. The steam will get pushed out through the flame trench and everything like that. I think a shot like that is entirely possible on the next pad. I can't wait to see it.
And speaking of shots, I want to talk because we're going through all of the events of the launch. Like we have Max Q here. This is from the last flight. We had a major vapor cone and everything, but yeah, and so you know, Starship will go up. It'll go through Max Q. This is gonna be like a minute or so into flight. It'll go through the speed of sound as well, and we're gonna get to the really hot part of the flight, and yeah, I guess that's a pun because it's hot staging. And if we can, there we go. We're running on the next clip, so we can see here 30 of the 33 engines on Super Heavy will shut down. the ship engines will ignite, the 3 clamps holding them together will separate, and then we're going to have that boost back burn on the booster. Unfortunately, on Flight 10, as you can see there, one of those engines did not work. So actually, for the hot stage, and it was 29 engines out of 33 that shut down, and then for the boost back, they lit up 9 engines instead of 10. But after that, of course, the hot staging ring jettisoned. Probably we shouldn't go like literally all of the clips right now.
I think it'd take a bit.
Or maybe we can. I mean, I'm at the mercy of our
we wanna
producer.
just go. I mean, we could.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Why
You
do
know-
they have to jettison the hot staging ring? Let's do that.
Well, because I will just say this. It was back on, what was it, Flight 4 at this point? Booster
Flight
10?
4 was the first one.
No, that
What's
would've
the first
that
one
would've
they
been Flight 3. It
jettisoned?
would have been Flight 3 is
Flight
what it would have
3.
been. But
Yeah,
Booster
hang
10, because Booster 9 blew up on boost back startup. So
Flight
when Flight 3 went to Reenter,
Is it correct? No.
what? Yeah, there you go. we can start showing all of our patches. I've got all
And
I've
Flight
got
4.
all 10 patches sitting right and right here. All 10 plus that one. So I got all of them. But a booster 10 came back with this hot stage still on.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some indications that it might have ripped off due to aerodynamic forces, and I don't think SpaceX wanted to deal with that again, because it's only being held on by the clamps. So they figured, why not jettison it? I mean, it's basically on a ballistic trajectory to just hit the water, because they jettison it before the booster glides back to the launch site. So why not just dunk it? Of course, this is the last flight that they're going to be able. They're doing that. This is the last flight
Yeah.
we're seeing hot stage in this config. It's going to look. The gases will probably look a bit different on the next flight because it's a little more open with the integrated hot stage. There's a lot of lasts with this one. It's kind of
It's really a flight of last thing of this, last thing of that. And so the other last thing that we're going to see is that landing burn with a Block 2 booster. We're no longer doing the clips. Okay. Yeah, because I was trying to go to the landing burn part. Booster entry. All right, so the landing burn, it's going to have 13 engines at the start, and then they're going to go down to 5. And that sort of will mimic the part where it's translating to the tower. And also, they're doing that because for Block 3, for the next version of the booster, they're going to be doing 5 engines in that part of the landing burn to have more redundancy, have also more options and more control in case something were to go wrong. Now, for the landing, so at the end of that burn, they're going to shut down 2 of the engines and they're going to keep 3. But then that will happen because those 3 engines will burn for a little longer, and then it's going to hover there on those 3 engines. They shut down the engines, and then it's going to be plunging to the water. It's not going to be a soft splashdown. It's going to be one where we see a boom. So either way, we're going to see a boom, right? Like, boom is guaranteed here. The problem is if it's if it's planned or not planned.
Right.
So that's the booster. We can go to the ship. The ship, it's gonna do its thing, right? We're gonna see second engine cut off, hopefully again, right? First the RVACs, then the sea levels, and then we're gonna go into the coast phase. And we got the oopsies at T plus 47 there. Haha.
yeah.
Yeah.
I said this to Kevin before the start, and what we need to do is we need to have a timer on the launch stream to count down to that point to see if it happens again. Just see,
Yeah.
Why not?
So, the coast phase, we're going to see pretty much, or at least we hope to see the same thing as we saw on Flight 10, where, the ship was maintaining attitude control, unlike on Flight 9, right? We had all of that. Then we had the deployment of the Starlink satellites, those Starlink simulators, I guess. We can see there, yeah, there we go. A little clip there of what that looked like. And a few minutes later, after that Starlink deployment, we're probably going to get, hopefully, if everything goes well, that relight of one of the Raptor engines. I'm talking too fast for how long the clips are going. Trust me, on launch day this is not gonna be that quick. But yeah, so yeah, that was the relight on flight 10. They're gonna try it again on flight 11. Make sure that it was not luck or anything like that. That it actually works. And so yeah, then the nerve-wracking 15 minutes of entry. I mean, I don't know about you, Ryan. Every single time we see one of these ship entries, it's like my heart is racing. It's 15 minutes. I don't know,
Hey.
when people are coming back on that thing, it's gonna be
At least it isn't like full blackout and we're wondering what's happening. We get live views of the thing. Like, it's kind of nuts.
It's
like
true.
You think about it,
It's
it's like,
true.
yeah, we get live views of this vehicle reentering, and it's just never happened before. I mean, of course, it's happened a few times now, but Starship's been the only one that's been able to do it because of where the antennas are, how big the vehicle is, and it's communicating to a massive constellation of low Earth orbit satellites. So it's kind of combination of things as how Starship's able to communicate during this. But it's always awesome, and it always can be a little bit nerve wracking to see whether or not the ship will make it. I think 38 will make it just fine. But with the patches that they've taken off the ship for this time around, it really seems like SpaceX is truly wondering where can they where can they make this fail, or can they make it fail with this kind of sense, because when you start doing crewed missions, if you want to bring back sensitive satellites or bring back material or whatnot, you want the ship when you bring it back at any point in time, you don't want it to burn up. We'll go with that. Whether it's a tanker mission, Starlink mission, or crewed mission, you want to be able to know where your failure points are, or if you even have any. I mean, it's going to have some, but SpaceX needs to find out where those are, and that's why they keep removing these tiles, so they can, find out if it fails or not.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have a question?
I do. Did we just have some breaking news?
Wait,
I
why?
I think we had some breaking news.
And you did not run the stinger.
Ryan Weber just said he thinks 38 is going to make it just fine.
Well, how's that breaking news?
Because
What?
you are the ever pessimist.
I mean,
He got you there.
Okay. I make my predictions and other stuff based off the data we have seen from past flights and other things. Based off past data, like with the last several ships where they've taken tiles off, it survived just fine. So I think it'll make it. If it doesn't make it, I mean, I won't be surprised either, because they've removed about the same amount of tiles as they did on 37, except for in this or on other ships. It's like 88 some odd tiles, give or take. But they've done it in patches of 4 rather than like a bunch of singular tiles all over the place. So it's a little bit different, but I still think it'll make it. And Kevin is shocked, I guess.
Huh.
I'm gonna say the fact that the patches of missing tiles are a little bit larger than last time around, it's making me not be that. But it's got the ablative material behind it, right? So like, at least it's not gonna be like a full burn through. I hope.
Well, some of the
Well-
close-up images, it looks like they just painted the stainless or painted
really?
the felt. Yeah. I was
painted
looking
the
at some of
felt.
the close-up images. I don't think the felt, most of it doesn't even have the felt. It looks like they just painted the steel or painted the felt black. I'm not kidding. It's kind of funny. We'll see if it makes it. I think it will, but we'll see.
Well, whether it makes it there or not, of course, the only way that we can even cover any of this is with you guys' support. So I'm gonna run through some support, and yeah, maybe we'll get to some of those interesting announcements, I guess, that we have in our store. Not our store as in
In
merch.
store for
Anyways,
you.
in store, exactly.
Hey.
But anyways, training and forecast. Thank you for becoming a PadRat member. We've got also Timothy Bushel. Sorry for butchering your name. Also becoming a PadRat member. Texas Roast becoming a PadRat member. Then we have a store here from Anonymous, just saying go flight 10, but they got the flight 11 patch. There you have the little thing on the top right. Then we've got 5 Red Team memberships being gifted by Chris Burnett. Then we also have an flight 11 patch by Anonymous on the store. Thanks for all that you do. Because remember, when you buy something and we're live, you can put a message on the store. And so you can leave also things here on our panel that way. It's not the main way that you should do it, but still a way, I guess, for you to say something to us while we're live. Then we also have a $5 tip by SP Rupert on tips.NASASpaceflight.com. Here's to the NSF long answer duo on the countdown to launch. Lots of content to help us pull the all-nighter prior to launch. Yeah, look, it's gonna be 1:15 a.m. my time here in Europe. It's gonna be late, right? And the whole reason why we're us two here, it's like everybody in the field is getting ready for the flight. Everybody in studio, they're also getting ready for flight. The only ones that were left were B and Ryan, so you're stuck with us. If FFC T Hog also, do you think we'll get a nighttime launch of Starship? Really want to see those Methalox Raptors light up the sky with a bright blue light. Look, I'm really, really hoping we get to see that at some point. We have but the potential with this flight to have, if not a proper nighttime, is at least a sunset, like deep into sunset, right? A sunset launch. And downrange in Florida, if you are out there, you have a chance perhaps of having a jellyfish effect from Starship as well. So if you're out there, especially, you know, the most south that you can get, the better, like the Keys or something like that. If you're out there, I will make the trip. But also I've heard the weather is not super great. So yeah, we'll see. Oh boy, there's a lot of things here. Hang on. So Blake P, will HLS need to chill its propellant before landing on the moon? Well, that's a loaded question, I guess. No pun intended. But
Yeah.
I guess they're probably gonna need to do some kind of chill down of the, not of the propellant, but at least the engines themselves, right, Ryan? Because those always need to get chilled down.
It is.
So
That is
you
the
wanna
biggest
elaborate?
question for me overall with Starship is how are they going to keep the propellant at the correct temperature on board the ship and this is not even just for moon missions, this is for Mars missions and beyond. Because we know that Starship and like Falcon 9, because they use subchilled propellant, the engines like it at that temperature because they're designed to be fired at that temperature. If you don't do it at that, sometimes the engine might not be happy or whatever. So SpaceX is going to have to figure out a way to keep that propellant at the correct temperature for a long period of time, or introduce some kind of system on board which can chill it down. Which the problem with that is then you need to carry LN2 with you. So that becomes an issue, and subcoolers. Because I don't really know how else you can chill it down beyond, you know, the temperature that's in there, other than using a medium that is colder than it to then have a heat exchanger. So it's going to be interesting to see how SpaceX solves that problem.
I have ideas, but you know, it's
Yeah.
you know, canon to lodge, right? We're still not there. So yeah, I'm gonna run through some support here. We have another super chat, Mr. Gamer. I saw this as I was saying this. Y'all gotta stay saying hopefully at the end of every sentence for the love of cheesecake. Look, I normally add that on my sentences when talking about Starship because I've already been through a lot, right? On my commentary, I've been through the phase of like being super negative, through being super optimistic. Like ahead of version 2, I was so optimistic, and yeah, I really got the slap on the face with flights 7 and 8. So I'm no longer gonna be super optimistic or super pessimistic. I'm just gonna hope for the best. Please, everybody happy, peace in the world, and all that, right? We'll see. But look, we're running through all of this support, and there's obviously another way that you can support us. You've got the YouTube super chats, you've got the tips on NASASpaceflight.com, you've got the memberships, you've got just viewing this live stream. That's already supporting us. You're watching, the algorithm will see that and be like, yay, people like this, right? And they're going to be recommending that to other people. But also, we've got the store as well with our recent end of an era patch, if you will, right? That Flight 11 embroidered patch. They are already, like, this is not a pre-order or anything. If you go to the store and get one of those, you are already ordering it. It's already there on our I cannot remember right now what's it called, but yeah, it's already there.
It's in the
ready
warehouse.
The warehouse. There we go. Thank you.
Words.
Thank you,
English.
God.
What?
Words. Frankly, I did not even remember the word in Spanish, so it's just my brain being what it is. So it's on the warehouse already. You can already get it. It's not a pre-order or anything. And also, along with the patches, because the patches are limited, but there are things that are not limited, like, you know, shirts, mugs, tumblers, and all that, right? So you can get all of the things that can complement that patch as well. Yeah, I mean, I've got a set of stickers, for example, along with my patch, because the stickers, you can actually stick it on like laptops and things like that. The patches, I mean, unless you have glue or something, I don't know how would you do that with a patch. But yeah,
You
stickers.
could make a Velcro thing or do a do a stickiness and iron them on. You know, iron all these on. That's the
And I don't
the
know-
original patch, which isn't.
Yeah,
anymore,
I mean, I also prepared my own thing. So we both prepared this thing of like running through all of the patches that we have made here on SF, and also reality is broken, I guess, for me. Yeah, I have a green screen, so you know some of these patches are gonna be broken. Like this is Flight 2. See, it has green on it. You've got where's 3? Hang on, 3. Oh, this one has a really funny history because it's got Hawaii on it. Thinking we were thinking that it was gonna go to the Pacific Ocean. It went to the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, that's right before they changed. They did the TEA where they changed the landing zone from Hawaii to the Indian Ocean, and they've kept it ever since. So.
Yeah. And then Flight 4, the little flap that could, it's got also, well, I think it's just the green screen breaking, I guess. But yeah, this one is my favorite, at least of the early flights, because I love the purple on this and the colors and everything. I really like this one. And then we go to the first catch with Booster 5, Flight 5, and Booster 12. Booster 5 was a long time ago, and it was supposed to be, I guess, at one point. But yeah, first catch. And then after the first catch, we thought, you know, it would be cool if we could have this view of a booster catch with Starhopper. And guess what? Flight 6 did not have a catch. And this is, I guess, when things start going sideways with our patches trying to replicate what will happen in flight. Because then
unceremonious start to
this one is all green. Starship Flight 7. I mean, it still flew. It's just that not for too long. Then we had Flight 8 with the deployment of Starships, of Starlinks. And guess what? It did not happen either in Flight 8. Yeah, that's patches for you. But then, hang on, because I have a better way to show this one. Then we had Flight 9. I have a mug. See what I told you? You can have a patch without having the patch itself. You can have it on a mug. Or you can have it physical if you want to, but these are limited. These are not. So, just saying. And then, of course, we got Flight 10, which I don't have, but you do have, right?
There you go. And there's Flight 10 rising from the ashes of Ship 36.
Let's check. There we go.
And whatnot. Yeah. There you go. And that's all 10 patches.
Indeed. Yeah. So 10
and then,
patches.
Of course, this one, the special
and
one.
then we've got the shrug patch.
Shrug patch.
They were like, well, well.
And I would say if
And
you
then-
want.
Yeah,
No.
and so you're talking about the metal prints. Look, yesterday with that rollout of the ship, Max actually took one of the ship rolling out. I don't know if we can pull it up to the producers.
I really
Look, I'm not too into Cybertruck or anything like that, but it's got the Cybertruck and the framing is amazing. And I'm not a fan of the car, but I know just by looking at the picture that if you are, you probably want one of those because it's a really great composition. But then there's also those two, like you've got the one, is that
That's
from
Jack.
D? Oh, that's Jack. Okay.
That is Jack Flight
and
10.
the other is Max
That's Goes You.
Goes You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is the rollout picture that I was mentioning. And it's got a really like it's almost like humans and car for scale.
It's a cool
yeah.
shot. It's a really cool shot.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's one way for you to support us. And as I was saying earlier, we're live. So you can actually type in a question, a message, whatever you want to say. I really literally have this list of things here. It's already filling up. But yeah, we'll see. We'll go through those a little bit later. We'll hit a few questions, if you will, right? Because we also do those as well. And there's also a bunch of those too, because there's a bunch of people already joining the live stream. So one of the things that that a lot of people are asking is especially about the next flight after this, because of course we have Flight 11, but there's a great interest in what's coming next, right? Block 3, version 3, whatever you want to call it, and also Pad 2. And so one of the things, Burnt Banana is asking, will there still be a tower event for the next pad? Guess oil and vent will be gone, but hopefully some new indicators too.
So, and what I'll say for, moving on, we talked about the trajectory and all that stuff, and if you want it, I'm going to plug myself here. I wrote a launch article for it, and I mean, I titled it, it's the end of an era, but it's the beginning of a new one, and that's kind of how I view the whole flight. But anywho, yes, there will be a tower event, but there will not be an OLM vent. It looks like SpaceX is rerouting it back to the box fan or they're bringing it back to a tank. It's kind of hard to follow it at this point. It's really hard to see that. The new indicators really will be just the box fan vent is going to be running for chill down and for prop load. That's where all the chill down, the excess venting for the chill down, as well as the LN2 exhaust for the lock subcoolers will go. We'll definitely be able to see the two specific vents that are for the methane side. When those are trucking a bunch, we'll be able to see when those are into prop load and whatnot. And then a nice new thing on this pad, on the new pad, is there are 4 vents on the GSE structure. These are purge vents. So I would expect them to be periodically venting as prop load is in, because when they're doing that, and probably a little bit in chill down, because with it being an enclosed environment and like that, they do a nitrogen purge to make sure there isn't a buildup of oxygen or methane, because not everything is 100% perfect with sealing, so things leak, and gas can build up. Booster 7. Anywho, and I would expect a really good indication too, because Alex, that there's that vent down vent that happens on the current mount. The new one will be much bigger. Basically, it'll be all those vents going as it vents the entire service structure and the QDs
Cool.
as prop load is finished. So it vents everything out, it purges the whole system, and that'll probably be our indication of really, really close to whether it's a static fire or a launch on that pad. So there will be new indicators that we'll have to get used to and whatnot. And I can't wait for them to start tanking tests to do a wet dress so we can see where all the vents are and how it all works together. But it's going to be really, really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And of course, all of the testing prior to the flight will probably give us a clue as to, some of these timings and indicators and whatnot. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be, going back to old tank watching era, I guess. But, going a little bit back to what we're going to do, because I have also a few questions here about our coverage for tomorrow and all that. There's a few conflicts there as well. We'll talk about this in a minute. But we have a goal in chat, in the YouTube chat, and it is only for the next, hang on, because it's already been a bit, for the next 13 minutes, we need to reach 15 teal super chats, and then we will reveal our special guests for tomorrow's stream. We have
I really want to know.
some interesting. Yeah, you really want to know, God?
I do.
AMR. But yeah, so once we reach that goal, we'll reveal our guests. So there you have it, and we have a really nice list of people, and I'm sure you guys are gonna be really excited about that. But in the meantime, I guess we can go through some more questions, and I'm actually gonna deal with the ones about the coverage tomorrow, because somebody was asking about the Project Kuiper launch tomorrow. Poptropica? I don't know how to pronounce that. Will you be covering the Project Kuiper launch tomorrow as well? So look, if you go to next spaceflight, okay, and you pull up what time that flight is, it just so happens that it is while the ship is in the coast phase. If it flies at the beginning of the window, it might actually be that, as the booster is landing on this Falcon 9 launch, then the ship is like during re-entry and all. So it's gonna be quite difficult to set up a different live stream. We'll see what we do. And look, there's also being really bad weather around not just in Florida, but also downrange. This last one, we actually think that it was because of the weather downrange. It was only 5% unfavorable conditions for launch, but the landing was like they had a high risk and things like that of bad weather. So yeah, those two launches next to each other, one happening during the operations of the other.
It's like, there's starships in the middle of re-entry. You cut the Falcon 9 lifting off, and you go, it lifted off. Go Kuiper. Anyways, Starship. It's like it's re-entering. It's kind of what it feels like. It's a little bit. It's like, yeah, Starship's re-entering. No, Kuiper launched. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people are already guessing.
Like to me, at least,
already trying to guess the guess for tomorrow. We'll see who got it right, but in any case, yeah. So we'll try to see what happens. It's very likely that it might delay still because, as the latest that I've seen is that the weather is still not great downrange for the landing. Who thought 10 years ago, right, that a launch will be still scrubbed and rescheduled for the landing of the booster, right? It's like, yeah, who cares? It's a booster, just dump it. But no, that's what happens now. You gotta wait. So yeah, we have Samuel Miller here saying, do you think they cut OLM-1 into pieces and use a crane, or use a mix of explosives and cutters or something else? And I know Ryan will love to talk all about this.
I mean, I think what I think they'll do is they'll go at it with cutters, take off chunks piece by piece. If they feel like there's anything worth saving, they'll take it out. I mean, they already took out the landing rail dampers off the set of sticks. So that'll be one thing when you see, we'll have to note that in the live stream tomorrow, is when the sticks open, the landing rails will not go up. They won't. So it'll be interesting to see what else they take off of it. But what I want to see is I want to see them blow the whole thing to pieces. As much explosives as you possibly can. Use the water cooled steel plate as a pusher and push up and knock the OLM ring off its legs, and then topple the tower. That's what I want, but that won't happen. That probably won't happen. Never say never, but it probably won't happen.
Well, we'll see what happens. Reminder: 9 minutes on the goal. I'm already seeing 8 out of 15. So we'll keep going through some of your questions. We've got here as well from Prime Software. Will we see again an orange ship on splashdown? And there's also another question on support that I'm gonna hit after that. But we'll talk about that. So the ship got the orange right on flight 10 after that re-entry. And a lot of people were like, "Is this gonna be what we're gonna see from the ship?" But if you remember, from flight 6 a year ago on ship, what was it, 31? I still need to
31, yeah.
Try to go to my hard drive.
You have to start to think,
Exactly. Yeah.
Flights.
It's really getting to that point of I need to go into my hard drive there and be like, okay, where was it?
My RAM.
But yeah. And so yeah, that was ship 31 on flight 6. and it was not orange. There was a few parts. Obviously, it was cooked because they were missing tiles, right? They removed a bunch of tiles from the sides and everything, but it was not fully orange. So what happened? What was the orange? Well, that was just the metal tiles. They had metal tiles, a couple of them, actually 3 of them. One of them was actively cooled, and they just got rusty because the atmosphere has a lot of oxygen on it. So it got rusty through reentry, and it splattered all of that rusty metal across the entire, or at least greater portions of the ship's heat shield. That's why we saw the orange. And for this one, Ryan, I have not seen any metal tiles. They have not mentioned anything about metal tiles. They also said ahead of times that they probably won't use them again. Is that still true? Like, am I imagining things here?
You aren't. Bill even said himself as they didn't work exactly. They didn't work very well. And not only that, because when you re-enter, and this is the fun chemistry part of re-entry and plasma and whatnot, is there's a ton of oxygen you're going through. So what happened to those metallic steel tiles is they rapidly oxidized and just deposited a bunch of rust all over the heat shield. That's the orange. It literally was just rust. And they didn't really work as well as they thought they might have. So it seems like SpaceX is not going to do those kind of tiles. I think they'll probably try to experiment with other types of tiles later down the line. But as of right now, it seems that their setup is going to be you're going to have your pins, you're going to have your ablative, and then you're going to have your felt in the crunch wrap shape, basically. So it's just folded over the sides of the tiles, basically all it is. And then behind that is basically a mesh layer, and then to help keep the felt and whatnot down. Although they might be getting rid of the mesh layer because of the crunch wrap or anything. And then it's the tile. And that's basically it. That's their setup for most of the heat shield, especially the portions really facing the actual plasma. Some of the leading edges and stuff like that, or I should say, not really leading edges, the trailing edges of the heat shield and whatnot. Those don't really have that gap filler crunch wrap. Some have a RTV gap filler in and around them, but SpaceX seems to have found a groove with their heat shield design, and I think they're going to want to. I hope we get a full completed heat shield on 39. I don't want to see any more testing on 39. I want to see a completed heat shield, please.
That was actually
just
that was actually one of the support from Ron Smith saying, when can we get? When can we get a normal fully tiled heat shield? It would be nice to have an operational one for once. I agree with you. I really want them to try at least one re-entry. Hopefully, once we get into Block 3, we're gonna get our re-entry with no tests, just clean, and see what the ship looks like. But to be fair, like with the crunch wrap and everything, that thing, the wrapping around the sides of the heat shield tile with the same backup material, not backup, like the cool thing, right? The white felt that they use for protection of the back shell, that it really looks great. Like the white and the black and everything, it really fits, the whole aesthetic of SpaceX. I'm gonna run through some support because I'm already seeing that we have hit our goal. So I guess I'll have to deal with that first, and then we'll get to the announcement. I'm gonna run through a lot of store here because you guys have been literally jumping on the store and like buying things left, right, and center. So now I have to deal with all of this. Jurgen, they say you guys rock it. I guess. What did they bought? Flight 11 patch, NSF logo polo shirt. That's interesting. Thank you for that. We've got also from Electron. They have 4 different things. I seriously regret not getting all of the patches. Do I get all the patches if I work at NSF? I think not. I don't think that's how it works. You still have the stickers. Like, look, it's a great. I don't want to call it consolation prize, but I guess it could be. If you missed at least at the patches, the stickers do really go great. And again, you can. I mean, those do not run out. You can stick them wherever you want like a laptop, an iPad, or whatever you have there. We've got more things here.
Hey,
Was it
Alex.
Flight 6 patch, Flight 9 patch? Yes. Flight 11
Somehow I
patch.
misplaced some of my patches, and
Uh-huh.
even I don't get a replacement.
Well, see,
Because once they're gone, and that's
They're gone.
actually real. We're not just saying that to try to sell patches. Once they're gone, they're gone.
do we have our team out there, or are those like tourists and things like that? I just saw somebody. I think this tourists. Paul Allen with a Flight 11 patch, of course. Thanks for such a wonderful experience at the Royal Air Force, Hendon. It was a pleasure to see you guys and makes watching Flight 11 even more special. Look, I'm actually wearing the same hoodie zipper thing with a Falconologist thing and everything that I wore at the meetup, because I thought it sort of fits right with the whole theme, and also it's special as well. But yeah, it was an amazing experience being able to. It's actually more daunting having people in front of me, even though it was like 150 people or something like that, right, Kevin? You and I were there, and it's not easy having the people actually in front of you talking to you, even though there's 3,000 people in chat now.
It's so weird being around humans. Like we're
Yes,
usually
yes,
sitting in
yes.
our studios. Me in my control room, you in your bedroom. Sorry if I just
Yeah.
told my secrets. and then all of a sudden there's like 150 humans around. It's a very different experience.
Ooh, this one from John. Thanks, guys, for being there. Just lost my wife 6 weeks ago, and this one is definitely for her. Oh my God! Thank you
Sorry
for
to
that.
hear that.
Yeah, so sorry for that. Oh man, that's always not great. But thank you for the message, of course, and also for buying the patch. It always helps. It's another way of support, and yeah, I mean, but I also have here Jacob saying, "Well, the OLM2 booster, cut it loose from the ground and fly to the Gulf." Look, let's just not try to do any weird stuff with hardware, please. I think they already do enough weird, wild stuff with the hardware. But anyways,
Hey,
let's see. What?
My idea was don't land booster 15. Don't use a landing burn at all with booster 15. Glide it back and pile drive it into the pad.
Okay, I'm gonna try and clear more of the support. Eric, thanks NSF crew for the great coverage. Raymond, go Flight 11. Thank you for the excellent coverage. Mark saying, Alex and Ryan, my dream duo. Love to see you together more. We can try and get more of these, I guess. We've got also. I'm trying to get through the store ones. Let's see. Joseph, with this, I will have all 11 patches and a few cool metal prints. Nice. Metal prints as well. That's good. And then we've got Daniel. It's going to be a suborbital launch mount site. Well, what? Hang on. When they take down the suborbital launch mount, go Flight 11. Okay, sure. Then we've got what we've got. I think I've gone through all of the store support. Okay, now we go through the goal ones. There's a lot here. So we've got, for example, Egan, Open, no message. We've got Stefan Dex, no message. Russell Snodgrass, no message as well. Bunch of these as well. Like I think he did like 4 or 5.
I think they
I'm
were trying to
hitting
get to the goal.
6, 7. Yeah, he just did a bunch to do the goal. And then Revhead as well, 5 pound there. And then Princess Me. That was with the eye emojis there, you can see, right? Jonas, he's part of our team. Guess I'll fire it off. Then Victoria, cited for special guests. Russell Snodgrass here. I forgot to hit one of those as well. Wow, that's a lot of support, guys. And then we've got, what was it? Nibbles, nearly time to boogie, 87,500 seconds to the window. We've got Biteford with $35. That's a lot of support already. Okay, Alex and Ryan, I'm happy you two are on. Thank you, and now reveal. hang on. We still have a few more, Biteford.
Keep
Like
going.
your other, we've got a few others as well here. For my first 9 out of 15. Seriously, people, come on, and 15 out of 15 as well.
It's just to make you
there.
blush, Alex.
Jasper Toddbot. Wait, guess who is a special? What? Okay, I guess I've already gone through all of this enough for us to reveal it, right? Kevin, are you ready? Everybody in chat, are you ready? Let's roll. Let's roll the graphic. There we go. So, of course, we're gonna have Scott Manley back here at NSF on the launch stream. We're gonna have it after the liftoff of Starship. He's gonna come on here, and we're gonna discuss and we're gonna react live all of those coast and reentry things that are gonna happen with, we hope, that are gonna happen with Ship 38. And of course, it's not just that,
Speaking
because I
of
said
reentry,
exactly. I said a list of people, and we talked about reentry, right? So, speaking of that, can we roll? We have Eric Berger, of course, author of Reentry, his latest book on SpaceX, Elon Musk, and the reusable rockets that launch a second space age. Yes, I literally read that off of the book's cover. He also had he also had Liftoff as well earlier on. This is actually his second book on SpaceX and all of the reusable stuff that all of the reusable rockets. But
hey, Alex,
Eric
you know
Berger
what I'm
is
dreaming
not.
about?
Yeah, because about rockets, right? Like the
I'm
thing
dreaming about
is,
rockets.
yeah, the thing is, he's not the only author of rocket books, right? And so it's like we should probably bring more. And so we're gonna have Christian Davenport, author of Rocket Dreams, was released just last month, talking about Musk, Bezos, and all of these different things going on at Blue Origin, SpaceX, and things like that. The new age of rocketry. But hang on. Kevin, there's more, right? There's more. But wait, there's more. There's
I'm
more.
thinking that rockets go to the heavens.
Yeah, right? Because it's a sale or something. Okay, let's roll the next one. Because we of course has Ashley Vance as well, author of When the Heavens Went on Sale. And all three of these book authors are going to be on a special discussion panel a few hours before liftoff on our launch stream, and that's going to be headed by our own Jack Beyer. He's going to be talking with all three of them, and we're going to have a sort of a chat, because this is special, guys. This is a special launch, right? It's the last flight of version 2. It's the last flight from Pad 1 in this configuration. And there's been lots of things around in new stuff, in Blue Origin, Artemis, HLS, and everything. It's a hot topic, and we felt like it was a thing that we needed to do on this flight, because this is special. After this, we're moving on. We're going to version 3. Hopefully we get all of those amazing, a ramp up of cadence. That's going to be one of the things that I'm looking forward to. We have ship-to-ship fuel transfer. We've got, hopefully, maybe a couple of years down the line, the uncrewed demo of HLS, right? Few more years down the line, the crewed one. Then we've got Mars as well. There's a lot of things going on just after this flight. So it's sort of, again, turning the page, going to the next chapter. You might do that by going to these three authors and reading their books, which I think we also have like things in chat so that you can order their books as well ahead of time if you want to read them before tomorrow, before we feature them. So yeah, that's our secret special, I guess, thing that we wanted to do. We have that roundup discussion, panel discussion, whatever you want to call it, before the launch, few hours before the launch. And then after the launch, Scott Manley will come in with us and it's going to have a chat. Meanwhile, are people in the field like, is that Van? Is that the one that have a concrete way to go?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a river lot. Is there
That's where it
anybody
all
out there
began.
now? It is.
With
That
Pad
was
1.
Flight 1. That was Flight
Yeah.
1. Hang on. I have it here. It's missing a lot of concrete though, but we started with this. And yeah. Anywho, I thought, I hope you guys will like that. We've got lots of things prepared, of course, but that was one of the things that we really wanted to announce here before we go into tomorrow's coverage. Full stack of books. People already talking about this, but yeah, I'm gonna hit a super chat here because it's very relevant, I guess, to the history of Starship as well. From Trent Thompson. Can't forget about the OG Bokachigagal being there from Hopi to the last version 2 ship and booster. And that is true. If you've seen Mary's social media on X, she is not going to be at Starbase from here on. She's decided to just, head back out and be with her family and all that. So that's totally fair. And so hopefully, you guys have had an amazing time with our coverage here. It's been an amazing time being able to have the privilege of being able to feature all that in all of our different videos and live streams. She also posted a little video there of what it looks like when you've got a launch of Starship like a mile and a half away from your house, and that is cool. But yeah, she says, after a lot of thought, I have, well, okay, sure. I have moved back to Michigan to be closer to my family. I will miss living in Starbase, but I will definitely be back. It has been a pleasure. And then she posted that video as well. Thank you, Mary. It's, it's the reason why we have this channel. I know Crispy always talks about it, right? How she started posting these things, these videos, pictures, and everything about Starship back when it was just a few tents and all that in our forum. But it's a lot of bandwidth, it's a lot of data, a lot of things that you need to pay for. And YouTube was there, and so that's how they started. And look where we are right now, right? The snowball effect, if you will, of that has been huge. So really, thanks, Mary, for that.
Our entire team owes everything to Mary.
Yeah.
That's
Indeed.
how we have jobs. That's how we have a YouTube channel, and we're so thankful for everything that Mary has done, and really sad that she's leaving Boca.
Indeed. But it's, it's also how things evolved in the end, and we have to respect that. It's her decision. In any case,
And
how about what?
I was gonna
You wanna
say
say?
you'll probably see a lot of her older content and where this started when me and Alex do our stuff about Pad 1. We'll just go
Oh.
with that.
Yeah, we're supposed
where
to have
we-
that
we
too.
dig into the deep, the originals of Pad 1 and everything else. You'll probably see a lot of her older stuff. So it's it'll be kind of fitting, I think, to use a lot of her, because she
Thomas.
started this. She helped started this. Like
Thomas Hayden, our editor, is literally in chat right now. I was just editing some videos and going through a ton of her footage. Such amazing stuff to have. And that's the thing, she's been there since the beginning, and so we've got a lot of that footage saved for, whatever happens in the future. We're already doing we're right now very busy with all of these flight preparations, but hopefully after this flight we can release a pair of videos that we were working on, and then events happened on the history of Pad 1 and sort of what's coming up with Pad 2 and everything. And that history of Pad 1 has a lot of old content, a lot of things. There's one where it's got Mary driving through back when it was just Starhopper and things like that.
Sunday drives.
And they had this, the first time Mary spotted this sign at the launch pad where it says something like SpaceX Starship Orbital, Starship Super Heavy Orbital Launch Pad or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, orbital, right? This was when the launch site, it was like Starhopper, a few suborbital Pad A, and a few tanks put together, and they expanded east, and then it was like, wow, orbital pad.
I think that was like SN3 or it's like SN4.
SN3.
Yeah,
Or
3
even
or 4.
or even before that, because they extended to the east beyond the landing pad at the time. The landing pad is where right now the middle of the launch site will be, right? So that's how far east they actually expanded. And
Yeah.
actually, before they even put anything there on like any foundations or anything for the launch mount, what they did, because I was going through that media and I realized, hang on, there's pieces here of like SN1 and SN3 when they blew up,
Yeah.
and they put them apart where, you know, like when they extended east, that's where they used what pad 1 is. Its beginnings was as sort of like a scrapyard for all of the things that failed at the pad, but then they cleared all of that out and started the foundation work. I believe it was around June of 2020.
So SN5
So,
and
yeah.
6 is when they put the legs up.
Yep.
And then they added the extensions on like 9 or 10. And then they really started to get to work around 10, 11 or so. And they really started to put tower stuff in, put the Lego pad in where those big new methane tanks are, the fluids bunker, all of that, all of which is going to go. The new methane tank will stay, but pretty much just about everything else is going to go bye-bye.
Yeah.
Over the next several months. But it's funny to go back in time and look at all that stuff and just realize like where it all started. And yeah, it's really cool.
Hey guys,
All right. Yes.
prop load. It like isn't it starting right now
No,
in
It
24
will
hours?
be.
in
will be
about 3
starting-
minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
We're so close.
We're so close.
Is tank farm running? No.
Something's wrong though, because we use this stream today to test our systems, and we never have time to test all our systems. We don't have all the cameras out quite yet, but something's wrong because I feel really comfortable.
Is it all working? Has anything broke already?
Nothing is broken right now. I'm knocking on wood
Wow.
a lot because as a theater maker, that's what I'm trained to do. We're really superstitious people, and I'm scared.
You do. Hang on. So does that mean like the Macbeth thing, where it's like if you say the word of the play or whatever?
Yeah.
Anyways, like,
no.
If we say
Alex.
Starship
Murphy's
Flight
Law?
11,
Oh no, Alex.
anywho, let's run some support here as well, because we've got, apart from the goal and everything that we set up, there's obviously more stuff trickling in. So we've got Joe Pistretto, I think it is how it's pronounced, gifting 10 Red Team memberships. That's a lot. So thank you for that. Joyce Lynn, 1 Red Team membership. Then Flight X with a super chat saying best flight. Well, I mean, but I wouldn't call it Flight X. It's Flight 10, okay?
Yeah, it's Flight 10.
And then we also have Stead55 truthfully becoming a Pad Rat member. Thank you for that as well. And of course, as I was saying before, we've got a bunch of store messages here to deal with. Boys, yeah, this is like a lot. Flight 11 patch from Rodney. Looking forward to launch. Thanks for your coverage. Then we've got another Flight 11 patch, of course. Stefan, great job in itself. We've got Kenton, the end of Block 2. Go SpaceX. Go Starship Flight 11. Exclamation marks, exclamation marks. Exclamation mark. Yeah, a lot. They're excited about it. Kenton
A lot
is
of
like,
exclamation points.
yes, Flight 11. I'm also excited. I just need to contain myself for commentary here. Daniel, also with another store message here. So sad that I haven't gotten to Starbase before the removal of OG OLM, but at least my patch collection is complete. I guess it's a way of having Pad 1 with you. Here, Anonymous just randomly saying shout out to Gnoli cheesecakes. Yeah, of course. I mean,
Why not?
sure. And Anonymous, of course, with no kaboom. I hope so. I hope no kaboom either. But in any case, guys, we are already hitting our, roughly 1 hour mark on this. We're actually beyond 1 hour, I think. So we're going to wrap it up there. There's going to be a lot of things going on tomorrow. And so make sure to check out on all socials because, if I don't mention the socials, I'm probably going to be yelled at. But it's very important because that's where we got, Facebook, X, we've got TikTok, Instagram, all of the things different that sometimes you guys ask us like, oh, is there going to be this? Is there going to be that? There, sometimes, most of the time, we post when things are going to go live well ahead of time. So you can check that out. Of course, tomorrow we're going to begin our coverage at T-9 hours. So you can follow on the countdown clock there. That's 15 hours and 52 minutes from now. T-9 hours, we'll go live with our live stakeout stream. And then that's going to run for 6 hours or so until the launch stream, beginning at T-3 hours before the launch. And that's when we're going to get serious with that discussion panel. And then hopefully we're going to get to the launch in 24 hours, 52 minutes. Ryan, thanks for being here with me. It's been a pleasure as usual. And hopefully we get a good flight tomorrow. And I'm going to see you tomorrow as well, right?
Yeah, it's just the stakeout stream tomorrow.
Yeah, for the stakeout stream.
I'll just see you on this. I think it's only like an hour for a stakeout stream, so I don't even remember at this point.
I believe you're for 2 hours or 3, but we'll talk about it
at the start. Okay.
Yeah, two or three. Yeah.
I
But in
will
any
say, though,
case,
this is the second time that it's just been the two of us over this last week. It kind of works. I say it works. I mean, you seem pretty good at hosting, so it
I hope so too, because
Works
tomorrow I'm also hosting a little bit of the stakeout. I'm an hour there. I'm already spoiling that, but yeah. So thanks also to Kevin for pulling all the levers and pushing all the buttons, and then Jake Keegan as well, pushing all of the extra buttons and pulling all of the extra levers and everything, and having lots of patience with me as well, because it's not easy to produce while I'm on commentary. But in any case, folks, thanks for being here. You can go watch Starbase live, and we'll be here back with stakeout stream commentary at T-9 hours before the launch. Have a fantastic beginning of the week here, and just roll the outro. I don't know what to say.
And here we go.
We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be normal.
RCPA chamber pressure looks good.
Following up. Roger, Atlantic.
Water towers, fly! Yes! Echo down to nominal.
Flight downside FD off. Say again, FD off. Off. It's orange!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage. Put that in the big bag, Eagle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
This is nothing to be exciting and clear, correct? Ship 36 just blew up. Yikes.